Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Yes, do you see right here these matches right here as we show you John Moxley at the second bottom of your screen? He is advancing, but who's going to meet him to kick off Dynamite in a battle royal? Winner will face John Moxley, number one contender, in the main event for a shot at the AEW World Championship at Forbidden Door. Well, the battle royal did get in hand. We'll talk about the hits and misses of this battle royal and who advanced heading towards AEW's own battle royal coming up as well. We'll talk about it coming up. Plus, two, Buddy Matthews versus Pac. We knew it was going to be a one-on-one match. It was announced on Busted Open Radio earlier this morning, but there's an added caveat to it as a new championship has been introduced. We'll talk about what the new championship is and what it's going to mean going forward in that. Plus, two, Heyman Adam Page versus David Finlay. Heyman Adam Page and David Finlay battling it out. We'll see who's gonna come into grips to that coming up. Plus, two, AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa defends her Women's Championship against Razor Schiffer. Thunder Rosa been on the road as Thunder Rosa now might have turned her attention to Tony Storm, who hasn't had a championship match since 6 months after she left the part of WWE when she was winning against then champion Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title. And two new surprises as well as Kenny Will Ospreay makes a rare debut on Dynamite. What's going on with that? We'll talk about that. Plus, two, Heyman Adam Page wants a new title, the set of the world title, and Warlow wants a title as well. He wants gold, and what kind of gold Warlow wants, we'll get to it. The Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. This is Kendrick Dix for the Pro Wrestling Show. Thank you all for watching. The Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Thank you again for watching. We thank you. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We got a lot to get to, but let's get down to the nitty gritty with the Battle Royal. We told you on Rampage last Friday, this last weekend, that there was going to be a Battle Royal to determine the next challenge, to determine who's going to challenge for the interim AEW Championship after CM Punk had he didn't relinquish. He wanted to, but Tony Khan told CM Punk not to relinquish the belt. CM Punk is still the AEW champion. Now, this is how it's going to be going down. Interesting. The winner of the Battle Royal and will meet John Moxley, and they will go on to Forbidden Door, represent AEW, to take on whoever represents New Japan. Hiro Tanahashi and Hirogan for Dominion will go on to represent New Japan, and then whoever wins that will be the interim AEW champion. And they saying once the interim AEW World Champion versus the AEW World Champion CM Punk upon his return. So CM Punk recently had to get surgery for his return. So we know that CM Punk will be making his return shortly or soon, whenever that might be. But up like that, and I really since crown new champion, CM Punk comes back, the challenge, the challenge, the championship he never did lost, but they're just making things more confusing as we go. Well, we'll get to the Battle Royal right now. As it was the first card. It was a Casino Battle Royal. You had Daniel Garcia, um our what's his name, Darby Allin, Tony Lee, and Motor Hot Lance Archer. But this was an interesting note that Swerve eliminated Keith Lee out of the Battle Royal. Swerve eliminated Keith Lee out of the Battle Royals. Keith Lee didn't see that coming. I think Keith Lee was kind of a little bit upset at Swerve for doing that to him. So it ended up not being that way. But at the end, Adam caught Kyle O'Reilly wins the Battle Royal because he advances to meet John Moxley later on in the show. So we'll get to that coming up in a couple of minutes. So we got somebody from the Undisputed Elite with gold in their hands and stuff. Plus two. Pac went against what's his name? Buddy Matthews in a good spectacular match. Pac versus Buddy Matthews. What? World champ, a new title was created, a new heavyweight title. I think this is going to be the secondary title. It's called the All Atlantic Championship. So I guess this is their version of the Intercontinental Championship for AEW. It looks nice, and I guess they're trying to give a throwback to Mid Atlantic, but now it's called All Atlantic, and it kind of makes sense. And Um, that just should be it. AEW with these titles, they're adding more titles and titles and titles and belts, titles and things. This is what they call belts, titles and things. All right, at this should be it. But they continue on making titles. That was in AEW used for. That's their gimmick, making new titles. But they showed a bracket of what's going to happen at Forbidden Door, and it's going to be a fatal four-way, someone like a tournament in a way. You got Pac and Matthews. Pac won. Ethan Page versus Miro. A representation of New Japan. Penta Tesoro versus Malachi Black. So they trying to build this secondary championship as a new title. So we'll see how in the coming weeks how this title comes into play. Also, to Eddie Kingston continues to talk about the title. Continues to give him a microphone, and he just went out there and stick. He was talking about Jericho, where Ortiz was gonna do Jericho in their upcoming match next week in the hair versus hair match. Jericho could lose his locks of hair coming up, and also too, Blood and Guts is coming. So Kingston wants that match against Jericho. He wants to get his hands on Jericho some way, somehow. That's how Kingston rolls. But we'll see heading forward. Also, too, the mighty Warlow came out there. Warlow said that he wants a title himself. I'm surprised he didn't challenge for the new championship, the All Atlantic Championship. Warlow wants the TNT title that he was almost close to getting, but Warlow got distracted, and Warlow won the title. But Scorpio Sky saying this ain't the right time, right place. He wanted to go, but it wasn't the right time, right place. Scorpio Sky and Warlow might meet. Warlow might win the TNT title from Scorpio Sky, which that kind of makes sense. Championship of Warlow gets himself a new title, heading forward to the future. Also, to former champion Heyman Adam Page was in action. Heyman Adam Page, he went against David Finlay in a match, and well, let's say he defeated David Finlay. David Finlay didn't even have a chance. Finlay lost, but Heyman Page saying that he wants a title instead of the title that he could be re-challenging. He wants the New Japan title. He wants Okada. Well, we'll see going forward if that's going to come to fruition. But Adam Cole stopped that in dismay, saying that Adam Cole doesn't need a title. He needs to shut up and be back in reality. But we'll see heading forward to that. And I meant to say, speaking of Warlow, Warlow did want that, but Mark Sterling came out there and announced that the security guards won a match against Warlow, which I don't know, that makes no sense whatsoever, but it is what it is. But it's gonna happen. Warlow going against security guards next week. Also, too, Will Ospreay made his debut, AEW debut in New Japan. Will Ospreay came out there and attacked the FTR and Trent Canberra. I don't know what's going on with that with Will Ospreay attacking FTR and Trent Canberra, leaving them out laying. We know they'll have a match sometime down the road this Friday on Rampage. Will Ospreay will make a great fit for AEW. Only time will tell. Will Ospreay, and we'll see. Will Ospreay will be all elite down the road. You never know. Also, too, Tony Storm came to save Thunder Rosa from her beatdown from Maria Serena at the Thunder Rosa and Maria Serena had their match. Thunder Rosa defending the women's championship against Maria. Thunder Rosa retained her title, but Maria was a little bit sore a loser and decided to take her attention out on Thunder Rosa and left Thunder Rosa laying and stuff. Um, Thunder Rosa got saved by Tony Storm. Tony Storm eyeing Thunder Rosa and saying that she want one thing. You know what that one thing is? She wants the women's championship. We'll see. This Tony Storm do challenge for her. This will be her first time challenge for the AEW women's title, but she's no stranger to challenging for a women's title. After she challenged Charlotte Flair in the Christmas edition of SmackDown for the women's championship. And then Toni Storm made good news too that she said her time in WWE, she felt like she was walking on eggshells, feeling like she was gonna get fired next. But that's how wrestling be sometimes. But and finally, John Moxley defeated we'll get to Moxley on the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks came in there, they was in their office, you know, they EVPs and the Hardy Boys won a match with the Young Bucks and Christian and Christian as the manager of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus put out the gauntlet that it's gonna be a triple threat match, triple threat loud match where Christian said him and the Hardy Boys made history, which they did some 20 years ago. They want to make history once again. Christian put out the gauntlet. The tag team titles are on the line. So we could see Christian coming out there with Christian screw Jungle Boy. And we're back home. Okay. The feed wasn't gone, but we apologize for that. But hey, we ain't screaming and stuff. We kind of had to go with the flow and go with the punches and stuff. Um, So we talked about that. Adam Carlo, Kyle O'Reilly went against John Moxley. Good match. Kyle O'Reilly didn't try to hold back or nothing, but at the end, John Moxley won and now he advances as a representative of AEW to take on whoever the Hiroshi Toxin Grand Pula match at AEW Forbidden Door, and they will crown a new AEW World Interim Champion. And that champion, the interim champion, will meet AEW World Champion CM Punk in a unification match for the AEW World Title. So we'll see that. And for Tony Khan, just don't make no sense at all. He should have just let CM Punk vacate the championship. Then when CM Punk returns, he can challenge for it. I mean, sometimes some people just don't think sometimes, and that just on that beat sometimes. If they was gonna do it, make it interesting, have MJF be the one to make it known like that. But they just didn't want to do that. They wanted to do it that way. But it's gonna end hot. They're gonna end the AEW ring report. Let's move forward quickly to wrestling hot topics. On wrestling hot topics, right now we can tell you that MJF delivered that promo that he was talking about. They're saying that he might be doing Hollywood, so MJF might be taking his options to Hollywood. But we'll just wait and see what M. Maxwell Jacob Freeman does. But that promo from last week was sickening, and it was just on point. And they had him removed from everything AEW. So MJF, the Warner team, Warner Brothers, don't want him nowhere near AEW whatsoever. Speaking of that, John Cena with his heartfelt message right here. John Cena went to the Netherlands and meet with a boy with Down syndrome who fled the war for Ukraine with his mother. Nice story. I saw the story. They're supposed to have a story on WWE your social media channels, so look for that coming up in the near future. Real nice story that John Cena did. That was real sweet and nice. Uh, John Cena doing. So we give the Dr. Thunder his his flowers. All right. And we have a recent photo of Break the Hitman Hart and Lex Luger, a total package. You can tell Luger and Hart are getting old. It's almost been nearly 30 years since they both won the Royal Rumble. They was co-Royal Rumble winners in 1994, winning the Royal Rumble, and both of them went to WrestleMania. People were thinking Luger was going to win, but Bret Hart pulled it out and won. So it was a recent photo of so how that even went. All right. That's gonna do it for the AEW Ring Report. We're gonna leave you with this lasting photo of John Moxley winning the AEW tournament to crown a new number one contender. He's the rightful number one contender, and he'll meet whoever the representative of New Japan, whoever will become the interim AEW champion. So for the latest and updates and news and stuff, go to listen to us for the Pro Wrestling Show. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you for this weekend for the SmackDown Ring Report. I've been your host, Kenny Dixon, so long.